if I need to restore the entire computer, this is difficult. Ever had to do a whole computer restore? Right? Ever had to, oops, the Exchange server's dead. I've got to go restore it from backups. Well, what do you have to do? You have to find exactly the same computer that you had before. If it was the motherboard that died on the Exchange server, you got a problem. You got to go find another motherboard, and you got to go install an OS, and then put the whatever service pack is on, get the agent back on it, and then ultimately go back and restore all the files, layer them over the top, so you can create the same kind of thing that was at the moment that VM was, or that machine was backed up. So individual files easy on a VM. Whole computer is much more difficult. If I put the agent somewhere else, maybe in the hypervisor. Okay, back with the original ESX, I could do that. I could install software directly into my hypervisor. Or maybe outside of the hypervisor via some third-party mechanism. And that third party can be VMware's data recovery tool, or it can be a third party, an actual third party mechanism that integrates with these management OS features. Well, in that location, it's looking up at the virtual machine. It sees a pair of VMDK files, one for each VM here, and it says, all right, I'm going to go and grab that VMDK file, and I'm going to suck it off of that machine and put a copy of it on tape or disk. So now I have one file in this situation on tape or disk down here, which is great for backups. I mean, one file is easy to deal with as long as it's properly, the quiescence is done appropriately, and I've got the data is integral inside of that little mini database that is the VMDK file. But as long as I've got that, it's easy to back up. It's much more difficult to restore because I have to restore the entire VMDK and then somehow break into that VMDK to grab Stan's accounting spreadsheet and get it back onto the VM somewhere. So without some kinds of automation, the having it at the hypervisor level or outside can be somewhat challenging. I could even put it in the storage too if I wanted. Right? My storage would have to have some sort of integration also with the hypervisor, just like that third-party tool would, and it would grab the VMDK files and boom, I'm good to go. So all of these are really the different locations from where backups can be sourced from, the different perspectives that are available for solving the backup problem. Be familiar with them because depending on what you need, you're going to choose a different solution for that. Now, built into vCenter is this thing called virtual machine snapshots. And it's almost a misnomer for me to refer to snapshots in the backup and restore virtual machines nugget here, because snapshots are not a backup and restore tool. Repeat that over and over again. Snapshots are not a backup and restore tool. The problem is that the term snapshot is really, really overused today. And so you'll find that your virtual machine, your hypervisor vendor will use a type of snapshot, and your backup vendor will use a type of snapshot because it's kind of a convenient word. It's like Kleenex, right? It's a convenient word for something that you need as opposed to the word tissue.